What's up, everyone? I am here for my review for Tool's new album, Fear Inoculum. I'm definitely looking forward to talking about this album with you guys because this has been one of my most anticipated albums of this year, and I just gotta say right off the bat that this album did not disappoint. Now, I've only been a Tool fan for about a year now, or at least a little over a year by this point, which I know is a little late, but um, this is a band that I don't think I would have been into back in like high school or something. But as you guys know, for these last few years, I've been kind of appreciating more bands and appreciating more aspects of certain bands more. And that's kind of what the case was for me with Tool when I got into them last year. So yeah, I know I'm really late to the party to this band, but you know what? Better late than never. And you guys might have noticed something about this review already, and it's that I do have the like and dislike ratio disabled. Obviously, if you know anything about Tool's fan base, you know why that is. There's a lot of fans that unfortunately take this band way more seriously than they need to. Because there's a lot of people that are really, really picky when it comes to people making videos about Tool. Because I know, because I've seen some other people's reviews for the album, and they've been getting a lot of crap in the comments section and the, dislike and like ratio or whatever. It's kind of sad because I could say that Fear Inoculum is the best album of this year, and there would be some people still, not finding any satisfactory in my review because I didn't dissect the song enough or talk about every single song. But, of course, I wanted to be ready because I know that I'm not that good at music reviewing, and I know that if bigger reviews are having problems with this, I know I will too, and given my lack of music knowledge as well. So, yeah, gotta play it safe. Gotta disable that like and dislike ratio. So, if you're wondering about that, that's why. So, with that being said, I was definitely anticipating this new Tool album, Fear Inoculum. I mean, I think it's all around fantastic, just right off the bat. Tool, I mean, they still know how to create great music. And I like that they've only released one single before this album dropped. Now, I know there's been Invincible and Descending, but those were just like live versions that were like released earlier or whatever. But the first like actual audio like single thing that they came out with was the title track. And the title track was definitely a great choice for a single. I felt like this is a song that was enough to give you an idea of what's to come for this new album. And I think, they're letting you know right off the bat that Tool is back and they did not, change their sound too much. But at the same time, it's letting you know that there's going to be some experimentation going on with this album. And I feel like the title track embodied that idea very well. And I can see why they chose it as a single. And, for what it is as well, I think it's a really great song. And it still possibly could be one of my favorites on the album. I think it's a really great track. And then we got Nuima, or whatever it's called, the second track on this album. And from what I can tell, this is a fan favorite song off this album already. And for good reason. It's definitely one of my favorites on the album. There's just really a lot to like about this song. Everything from Maynard's vocals to the instrumentation, and I just really dig the progressive elements to this track, and it's a very diverse song, and I mean, it's all around fantastic, and it's easily one of the best songs on this album. And then I do want to talk about Invincible, which is another one of my favorites. I was very intrigued at the beginning, because of that, I like the way it builds up, and I was very overall intrigued by it, and I dig just about everything about it. And skipping some tracks ahead, we got Calling Voices. Now, this is a song that I do want to mention because this is a very unique song for Tool, I think. I felt like there hasn't been a Tool song like this. Now, this is kind of where they step on some experimental territory. I do like this song. I was really intrigued by the instrumentation and Maynard's vocals. I mean, it's just a very captivating song to me, I think. And I think it all around works out very well. I think it's an interesting song, and it's a highlight for me on this album. So yeah, now I know that there are more tracks if you get the digital, if you listen to the album digitally, which is kind of weird, especially for a band like Tool, given their reputation, since they believe in physical media opposed to digital media. But you actually get more with the digital version of this album. You do get more tracks if you listen to it digitally, or whatever. So I think it's kind of weird that you get more with the digital version of the album. I don't know, that's just something I thought I'd point out, of course. But of course we know that, Tool has reached the digital world this year, with all their music being on Spotify and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, no matter how you listen to it, no matter what version you listen to, I think regardless, it's a great album. Now, how does this compare to the stuff that they've released prior? I think it fits quite well into their discography. Obviously, it's been a good while since Tool has released an album. It's been 13 years since the last time they came out with an album, and it's so crazy to me because it's like we're living in the days now where we can say that the new Tool album came out. I mean, that's a day I never really expected to ever come. And yeah, I think this fits quite well into their discography. And as you know, I don't think Tool has ever released a bad album, and this one is without exception. It's certainly a great album, and I'll definitely be going out and looking for the physical copy so I can have a copy for myself. I really wish I would have pre-ordered it, but prices, especially nowadays for the album, are just a little too high for me. That it's a very expensive album, but I'm going to try to find it for either a reasonable price on the internet or something, or if I see it in a store somewhere in a local retailer, I'll just go ahead and grab it then. So yeah, Tool's new album, Fear Inoculum, it's a great album. I'll go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's overall a fantastic album, and Tool, they just continue to do what they do and put out just great music. And this is really what we needed for this year, I think. So yeah, Tool's new album, Fear Inoculum, it's a great listen. I highly recommend it if you are into progressive metal, if you like psychedelic metal, or if you like psychedelic rock even. You should definitely check out Tool and check out this album as well. So yeah, this is definitely a great album. I highly recommend it. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think of this album. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and take care.